Shanti, and greetings of peace and a warm welcome to all of you. It's very necessary to become part of like-minded people. They say, show me your company and I'll tell you who you are. So it's necessary, time and again, regularly, to come together and empower the self. There's a beautiful prayer. As a child growing up, we were encouraged to repeat that prayer every morning and every night before we go to sleep. And that prayer is, dear God, lead us from untruth to truth, from darkness to light, and from death to immortality. My mother would ensure every day we will repeat this prayer 2 times, at the start of the day and at the end of the day. It is important to understand the value of knowledge. Knowledge is light, and meditation, yoga, is might. There are 4 subjects we learn here in this organization, which is called Brahma Kumaris World Spiritual University. And in this spiritual university, these are the 4 subjects we take up daily. Every morning, we study for a period of 1 hour. And one of the subject is knowledge. The first subject, we learn who am I, where I have come from, where I go when I leave this world. We learn the knowledge about why we are here and whom do we belong to, the knowledge of who God is, where he resides, what are his attributes, his qualities, and how to develop a relationship with him. We learn knowledge of the 3 aspects of time: past, what happened in the beginning, the start of the cycle, what is happening now, and what is going to happen by the time the cycle is about to complete and before the new one begins. So knowledge is essential. And this is why in Hinduism, at this current time, they're celebrating a very beautiful festival. It's called the Festival of Lights, Diwali. And come December, we'll have another festival of light, which we refer to as Christmas. Lots of lights, tiny, colorful, sparkling lights will be used to decorate our homes, our pathways. And there will be a Christmas tree representing the human genealogical tree. And in that tree, every branch represents a different religion. And at the top of the tree will be a bright star. And the branches of the tree will be decorated with tiny stars representing souls. It is the same with Diwali, Festival of Light. And so we have these festivals created in different cultures, different religion. But the main aim of these festivals is to create regularly, time and time again, create enthusiasm, happiness, zeal, to create positive energy. Can you imagine from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, if there's no celebration, no festival, no coming together and having fun, how challenging would life be? To be isolated, to be alone and struggle in the dark. So all of the festivals in all of the religion, they all have deep spiritual significance. It's concerning that these festivals, though spiritual, have now become very much related to money, to shopping, to cooking, eating, dancing, singing, and they last for a period of time. And then we think we get back to normal. What is missing in most of these festivals is the spiritual dimension, the significance. And this is why, whilst this festival, Diwali, is connected with a specific religion, I'm taking this opportunity to share its spiritual significance with all of you. This festival reminds us that we have to rekindle, reignite that light that has become dim within all of us during life on earth, during trials and tribulations, challenges and adversities. The light of the soul tends to become dim. So festivity, spiritual or religious festivity, is intended to rekindle, to refuel the light of the soul. And I don't need to remind all of you, we are witnessing it on a personal level, also local level, national level, and global level. It seemed darkness prevailing across the world, and therefore it is the right time to shift our consciousness back to its original state, its soul conscious state, remembering who I am and to whom I belong to and where I am going. So this festival of light is done in what they consider. It marks the end of their calendar year. And so they close all their accounts book at this time, and they open new accounts books, signifying that we have to close all the negative karmic accounts, finish everything that is old and bitter and dark and evil, and now start anew. So it's the start of new year for Hindus around the world. Though we engage in closing one account at the end of the year, whether we're Hindus, Christians, or others, we do the same thing. We close off the year. We balance off our account. So closing an account means the karmic account of the soul. And the second thing they do in this celebration of Diwali, they wear new clothes on this day, everything new. They also make sweets, all varieties of snacks, and they distribute. They do a lot of charity at this time, giving gold coins, giving gifts, giving money. And they also do a lot of invocation at this time. So during this current period we are going through, there's a need to invoke God, the supreme amongst everyone. Invocation, yes, but in addition to invoking the presence of God, we have to also do internal cleansing. So one of the aspects of the celebration is to clean the house inside out, everything. And the second aspect is fasting. They abstain from alcohol, meat eating, cigarette smoking. They abstain from certain negative habits. Now, if we want to come closer to the light of all lights, if we want to remove the untruth and bring truth, if we want to remove the darkness and eliminate the soul, If we want to become free from death and come to a state of immortality, then it is necessary to bring about a new awareness, switching from materialistic awareness, body conscious awareness, to a spiritual, soul conscious awareness. Because by now we all know we are spiritual. We are a spiritual being having a human experience. We are not human being having a spiritual experience. So as a spiritual being, we are divine, positive, pure, and our true nature is peace, love, harmony. So all the positive qualities are associated with light, and all the negative qualities like anger, greed, attachment, ego, they're associated with darkness. So truly speaking, if we want to come close to the light, we have to give up on truth and practice truth. We have to give up ignorance and acquire knowledge. And this is why during the celebration, they take little lamps, earthenware, tiny ones. And on the first night they celebrate, they light one deepak, one lamp. And this lamp, this earthen vessel, has a wick. And they pour oil in that vessel, this little lamp. Oil represents knowledge. And this earthenware, this little vessel, represents our intellect. So as we continue to pour oil of knowledge in the intellect of the soul begins to sparkle, to radiate. And this is why they don't use big lamps. They use tiny, tiny lamps, because within all of us, there's a tiny, infinitesimal, imperishable, incognito soul sitting in this huge body. So pouring the oil of knowledge during this darkness of ignorance, evil that we are surrounded by, only so that the soul continues to remain ignited. The soul never become completely dim or in a state of complete darkness. So this is why this diya is lit in the night. I remember as a child, all family members, we used to create these little mud vessels, tiny, tiny ones, and put it in the sun to dry. And my mom will make fresh coconut oil, not oil bought in the shop. And she will take cotton wool or white cotton, and she will make the wick. Everything used to be made by hand. And we will fast, and we will clean our house. And then on the night of Diwali, we used to light a row of lights, a rosary of light, not just one light. So first we light one lamp, one diya, and then with the help of that one diya, we rekindle all the other diyas, all the other lamps, all the other lights. And everywhere in the house, we put these lights on the staircase, all the way down on the pathway towards our gate, our entry from the gate, corridors or balconies, everywhere. And we were so excited after fasting, putting on new clothes, making sweets, distributing to all the neighbors and wishing them happy Diwali. We will stay awake. I remember personally, I will look at all the lights of all the other houses in the street, And I want to ensure that our house, our diyas stays lit throughout the night. And so it is having a deep spiritual significance that we have to continue to imbibe knowledge so that the soul never plunge into darkness. Though surrounded by darkness, the soul must continue to stay ignited. And this is the beauty of the celebration. Unfortunately, we buy the DS or we put electric color bulbs, and everything is more superficial than natural. And we even buy the sweets from the shop and distribute the, which was never the case in the early days. It used to give us so much love, so much happiness to distribute sweets with our friends and family. And so darkness and evil does not have its own identity. It exists due to the lack of goodness and the lack of light. So this is why one of the practice encouraged at this time is to celebrate life constantly, not periodically, but constantly. With every passing moment, we embrace this gift called life. We cherish it. There is a feeling of gratitude in our hearts for this time provided on earth, this great opportunity to be here now, this chance to share love, to forgive, to embrace, to be merciful, to be kind. These are positive energy. These are energy, peace, love, contentment, forgiveness, acceptance. These are the energy that will keep the soul constantly ignited during this dark period. And if we don't do that, obviously we will end up being consumed by the anger, the ego, the attachment that our world seems to be filled with. So make every moment in the life a celebration so that we can fuel our zeal and enthusiasm. Every day, try to be accepting to someone else, accept them for who they are, embrace them regardless. And it's interesting, though we come from different culture, different religious background, different roles and responsibility, different nationality, yet we can come together and share laughter, love, inspiration. We can spend quality time. There's much more to what divides us today, much more. So much that can unite us as opposed to dividing us. So create enthusiasm. Keep your energy very high, constant, not sometimes high and sometimes low. Make sure at all times our energy or enthusiasm is fueled. And we can do that by entertaining positive thoughts for the self, for others, by speaking words that brings benefit, that motivates, that inspires. Do something for someone beyond the self, beyond the family. Through our thoughts, words, action, we can keep the lamp of the soul constantly ignited. So we should not think that this is dark period. What can I do? There's no hope. There's no faith. This completely the opposite. This darkness is reminding us that dawn is about to emerge. It's a reminder that there's a light after the dark tunnel. So stay enthusiastic. Many times people say to me, where do you get your enthusiasm from? They say you're bursting with energy. Where do you get it from? It is important, truly important, to keep your enthusiasm high so that nothing mundane, let alone ordinary, let alone negative, should touch you or influence you in any negative way. So whilst religion and our culture created moments to celebrate collectively as a whole, let's do it with every breath, in every moment, not just one day, a few days, but do it all the time. Keep your energy high so that the soul never experience complete darkness. Though Diwali is celebrated at this time and there's fun, laughter, singing, dancing, eating, meeting together, that will only last for a period of time. We can't sing and dance, meet all the time. We have responsibilities and roles to play. But if we can change singing and dancing and happiness from external, and we meet together, we're having fun together, there's laughter, there's happiness created. But why not do that on a mental, on an internal level? How to keep my mind light, how to keep my happiness stable, constant, how not to come under negative influence. This is why in this organization, we have a system. And actually, we don't meditate when we wake up. In fact, we wake up to meditate. When everyone is asleep at 3:30 in the morning, a handful of us in every center, in every home that there is a student, they wake up whilst the rest of the family is fast asleep. So we don't meditate whenever we wake up. We actually get out of bed to spend time with God, the light of all lights, so that He can help us to remove the darkness of ignorance. So we wake up to meditate. And following that, we always, every day, Sunday to Sunday, we have the practice of studying knowledge, 1 hour, about peace, knowledge about the three aspects of time, knowledge about the three worlds, the soul world, the corporeal world, and the angelic world. We study these teachings every day. It's like applying drops and drops and drops of oil in the intellect. So the intellect become divinized, empowered. And it is so necessary to stay empowered. We all know that if we eat a huge bowl of food in the morning and nothing throughout the whole day, it's not going to make any sense. We eat after a couple of hours. We refuel the energy of the body. And in the same manner, we refuel the energy of the mind, energy of the soul. So daily in the morning, we wake up especially only to meditate. And right after meditation, we visit the center or study at home. So we continuously pour the oil of knowledge in the intellect so that the soul continue to become more and more ignited. And at the evening also, we sit for an hour meditation. These practices are our protection. They help us to keep darkness outside, to keep negativity outside, to keep evil of any kind, so they don't penetrate our mind. They don't get a chance to influence us. And so tonight, though it's a festival that is related to a specific religion, I thought of taking the opportunity to share with you the spiritual significance of Deepmala, the Rosary of Light, Diwali, the Festival of Light. And the intention is to stay positive, stay enthusiastic, stay energized, just like when a certain time period during the change of season, when winter finishes and spring begins, or spring finishes and summer comes, the switching of season brings certain illnesses, flu. And what we do, many people take flu shot or they take an extra dose of vitamin, one kind or another. And there's a reason why they do that, to protect themselves, the immune system of the body. In the same way, whilst we sail through the dark, we must energize. We must ensure that the immune system of the mind stays healthy, positive, calm, focused, stable. And so let's celebrate Diwali, this beautiful festival of light that reminds us that we are tiny sparks of light. And as a human family, we represent a rosary of lights. And we are connected with the light of all lights. And that connection ensures that the soul sail on, the soul move from one shore, the shore of uncertainty and darkness, the other side where there's light, there's peace, there's prosperity, there's health, there's the brotherhood of mankind. Let's move from one shore and travel to the next shore smoothly, safely. Let God be our boatman to take the boat of the soul safely across. Om Shanti, and stay enthusiastic, stay positive, and the light will dawn very soon. Om Shanti, and good night.